Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Wednesday, July 9th, 2025. Before I jump into the charts, I just want to, as I always forget this, not always, but often, I forget to tell you the stock picks we're putting out. And on Tuesday, we put a stock pick out on Doximity, which is an online networking service for medical professionals, large cap corporation, right on the edge of a significant buy signal. We give you all of the specifics, exactly where the market would need to settle on a daily or weekly basis for indicating, in this case, a meaningful gains within 3 to 5 weeks, pushing toward the 20% mark. That's with present volatility. And over the next 3 to 5 months, in the order of 40% returns potentially. And that's what we're looking at on the charts. Doximity can be seen for free by going to wickedstocks.com and taking advantage of our 5-day free trial. We'll be putting out another stock pick tomorrow, Thursday. And so you can see it all. You can see the recent stock picks we've been putting out for the last few weeks, a number of which are still pending, relevant, that you can watch. You also get daily triple Q and daily SPY analysis for the 5 days and weekly Apple stock analysis. So check us out at wickedstocks.com. Here we are, Tesla weekly chart going back 5.5 years. The low to mid 350s are ceiling of resistance on a longer term basis, able to contain monthly, possibly quarterly highs, and below which the market remains contained, if you will. And really what happened over the last couple of days that I only need to remind you is a settlement below the rising 2/3 speed line. Now that speed line held a couple of times over the last 5 or 6 weeks, and we clearly gapped below it on Monday. It did hold Tuesday's high, 303.96, able to contain buying for the week itself and really through the rest of July, because holding below 303.96, we are expecting over the next 2 to 3 weeks, 259.23, a descending channel bottom on the daily chart. So that is the 2 to 3 week setup. In fact, you can see the 2 to 3 week setup here, both downside and upside, that were we to close above 303.96.
If you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the Triple Q, and NVIDIA, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity. Try it all free for 5 days. Cancel at any time.
Over the next 2 to 3 weeks, the 350s in reach again. If you're short now and we close above 303.96, my suggestion is to exit that short position. Should you reverse and go long? I don't have a problem with that. In fact, I think that is a viable approach. I just think you're going to have to, there's going to be a pause, I would suspect, until we close above 314.01. And that is a descending channel top. So that is the shift in momentum to the upside if we close above 314.01. Closing above 303.96 neutralizes bearish momentum and does likely yield the low to mid 350s within 2 to 3 weeks. But if you were to buy on strength, kind of a clarifying buy signal where the 350s are then clearly anticipated within, say, 1 to 2 weeks, that would come with a settlement above 314.01. And these two levels are converging over time. Over the next 3 or 4 days, they converge into a single point, so it'll be easier and easier. But, bottom line, holding below 303.96 maintains 259.23 as a 2 to 3 week target. So if you're a 2 to 3 week swing trader, I see nothing to do but be short right now the market. That might mean having reached for 260 strike out of the money puts that don't expire for, I would go 5-6 weeks out on that 2 to 3 week play to the downside. When I say 5 to 6 weeks, I'm talking expiration price. I wouldn't go with an expiration price that expires next week or a strike that expires next week because, you may have been there before, but if you buy a cheap option that expires sooner than later, you can actually reach your target without seeing anything in return. A downside, we do have 272.87. That is a 5/8 downside Fibonacci. We're not going to see that today, I don't think. But 284.70 is potentially in reach. 284.70 an intraday support level. That is the low settlement price following the high that was put out in late May. The low settlement price, 284.70, can contain intraday, possibly daily selling pressures because we are appreciably above it right now. But it is expected over the next, say, 3 to 5 days, 272.87 likely by the end of next week. And yes, 259.23 over the next 2 to 3 weeks, where profits can be taken on a short play that may have been established with the settlement recently below 303.96. Profits can be taken at 259.23 and long entry here at 259.23. As we move into August trade, we can round up again from there. And we'll cover that close as we approach 259.23. Now, if we were to close below 259.23, that is our significant sell signal really through the rest of the third quarter. The same formation on the weekly chart is 260.50. And this really shows that if we do close below this descending channel bottom, that we've got a kind of a decelerated, is that right? Just not deceleration, an accelerated down move. How's that? That if we close below the 260.50 channel bottom on the weekly chart, the 160s, 161.31 to 167.42 is a 5-year channel bottom that can absorb selling through 26. That's my opinion. It's a 5-year structure, can contain annual selling pressures. If we close below 260.50, I'm going to call it a 2 to 3 month target or sooner, depending on volatility. But we're not there. I'm just kind of giving the heads up in terms of our thinking as we move forward through time. Once again, 303.96 is your resistance for day traders. It's also resistance for, 2 to 3 week swing traders as we continue south, presumably into the upper 250s over that time frame. If we were to close above 303.96, then I do think the 350s in reach over the next 2 to 3 weeks, say by the end of July. And if you would rather buy on strength, and I think that's a viable approach, closing above 314.01 does clarify the 350s as kind of a 1 to 2 week objective then. 351.39 to 355.32, as you can see on this weekly chart, still active 2-year channel top at 355.32, and we have a 50% upside retracement from the December high against that more recent April low. The two combined have performed quite well in containing buying pressures for the last several months and can continue to behave that way. If we were to close above 355.32 in the coming weeks, and I don't expect to see this anytime soon, but yes, if we can close above 314.01 over the next few days, then we can see the 350s again by the end of July. And if we can close above 355.32, then I see a good low for the year. And likely continued gains into the low 500 region, this 5-year channel top at 517.66 in reach, possibly by the end of the year. Could take longer with reduced volatility. But we've been here before, and this happened much quicker the last time when we closed above this channel top in November. It was a 3 to 5 week blast to the upside post-election and pre-inauguration that almost reached this channel top before cascading south again for a variety of reasons. But it is 355.32. That is our pivot point really through the rest of the year, above which 517.66 in reach, below which just sort of a kind of a repressed, a bullish dynamic that is now sort of in the bearish column near term, anticipating the 259.32 formation over the next 2 to 3 weeks. And if we close below 259.23, that is a significant sell signal into the low 160s, as a buy signal would be with a settlement above 355.32, expecting the 510s. I think that pretty much rounds it out. Please click like, share, subscribe to Wicked Stocks YouTube channel. I'll be back, of course, tomorrow with Thursday's Tesla report. You have a great day.